Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Project Share Projects blog hop video basically. So our hop happens on the first Saturday of every month. Just a little group of three of us so it's myself, Vicky and Heather that share our projects each month, and again on the first Saturday we just do something brand new, all with the same theme, and this time we're using the theme bright and bold. So this has definitely stretched my comfort zone in terms of what I make and how I make them. So we're really going at it today with lots of stuff, making this really bold, having really bright colours mixing together. So all of the colours that I'm using are from the Brights family, and you'll see I've pretty much, I think I might have used all of them in the various bits and pieces that we're going to use today. This particular example has Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Granny Apple Green, Azure Afternoon, a bit of Lemon Lime Twist, and a bit of Daffodil Delight as well. So a good little mix of colours there, all coming together. Okay. In terms of products then, I've used a new stamp set called Family Celebration, and then we've got this happy birthday sentiment here. That's actually one stamp, and you can see that it's laid out like this, but we're going to make it a long sentiment for our card. Also going to bring out these dies. This is the Scalloped Wishes set, but it's got this super dragonfly and the little flowers and these little leaves, which I'm going to use as my embellishments. And the actual bold elements, we're going to be using the Nested Essentials on this largest banner die here. Great staple to have in your collection. And then we're going to use Party Alphabet. These are humongous letter dies, a few little punctuation marks and special characters in there as well. No numbers. So it's a really cool set for something that you want really nice and bold. Okay, so I was thinking about doing a HB2U, but there's no numbers. So if you've got other numbers that you could substitute in, I guess that would work. So I just went with the HB and then accented it with the actual word happy birthday, and obviously decorated it up with all the pretty stuff. Okay, so as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of die cutting here. You'll be relieved to know I've done some of it, but we're going to do a little bit more, and hopefully it's just one pass, maybe two, of the die cuts, just so that we can get everything done, and I can just sort of show you quickly how to maximize that. So yeah, we're going to do two passes. Okay, so first of all, we're going to use Coastal Cabana for the what are those called, banners, and we're going to use Daffodil Delight for the lettering. So we'll put those through first because they're reasonably large dies. I'm just going to pop that slightly at an angle, just so that those run through nice and smoothly. Okay, so we'll run those. So that'll be our first run. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that carefully onto the cutting emboss, which I just have sat next to me here. So long as your dies don't overlap, you can maximise that plate. And do as much as you can in a single pass of the machine. Okay, so that's one of our little banner pieces, but we need two of those, so I'm going to keep that. So here are our letters. Just collecting up the bits and pieces. I need my little pokey tool. Come out nice and easy though. There are 8. That's a B, not an H. And H. So those are all done. So we need one more of the banners to go through, but we also need some leaves. So I'm sticking with the granny, this isn't granny apple, this is lemon lime twist. So let's pop that. So you can see I'm trying to maximise scraps as well today. Got all sorts of bits. Some of it's cardstock, some of it's two-tone paper. I'm going to do my flowers in pumpkin pie, and my dragonfly I'm going to stick with the azure afternoon for the body. Okay, and we'll pop those through. I've already got a set of these cut, so we won't need to do another set. So that should be all the die cutting that we need. So again, just transferring that across and getting all these bits and pieces cut. So I do tend to roll through and then back. It just gives it an opportunity just to make sure all those little teeny bits are definitely cut. So there's our second banner. Little dragonfly bodies. Let's pop that out of the way just for a second now. So there's quite a lot of stuff on the desk, sorry, it's just making sure I've got everything that I need and trying to do this in as little time as possible, just so that you can see how it's built. But I know there will be people watching who may not have seen some of this stuff before, but others that will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just collecting them up into this little tray just so that they don't go walkies. You want all these little scraps off your cutting plate. See how well used this cutting plate is, yeah? Use it and use it and use it. It is a consumable, but if you keep flipping it around and cutting into different areas, you can get a lot of life out of them. I've used this one for quite a while now, and I'll do a lot of die cutting. So that's kind of starting to bend a little bit that way, so I might use it this way around for a little bit just to minimise that. So this has got quite a few little bits in it, but if you lift it out, the die cut's clean. I'll clean out the die properly once we've finished. You don't need to see me do that. So I've got all these little bits and pieces, plus my lovely little banners. So let's, I'm going to bring in a silicone craft sheet, which is going to help me just build up these dragonflies, because I just need these to dry, because I'm going to be using some wet glue. So I'm just going to pop these out onto the sheet here. Probably should have done that instead of just transferring them from one place to another, shouldn't I? So little room on my desk. Okay, so like I say, little dabs of wet glue, and I'm going to need my take your pick tool. Oh golly, what have I done with that? There it is, I've got it. I'm going to use the little putty end on here to help with this. So I'm going to pop just some dabs of glue on the body of this dragonfly. Let's move that over a little bit. Go one on this one. dab just over the top of that now, so I can lay the second one over the top. Just gives it a bit more sturdiness. Don't have to put the 2 layers on. But it just makes it stronger overall. This is cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to pop those to one side under an acrylic block so that they're flat and dry for when we need them on our card. Okay, so card base, then I'm switching out the Poppy Parade for Berry Burst, and I'm layering like I did on this one. The letters are the layer colour. So I'm using the Daffodil Delight, and this is the 2-tone cardstock for Berry Burst, so I'm using the light colour just to give another little element of contrast. So we'll just use some Stampin' Seal, layer this. So you can make this layer whatever you like. I've done mine 3.5 by 5.25 for the mat. Then obviously the layer is a little bit smaller, depending on how big you want the border to be. And I've done a top folding card this way rather than I usually do a portrait card, but I'm going landscape this time. It just fitted better with the design, what we're using today. So there we go. And then we need dimensionals for these guys, so we'll flip those over and grab those. New packet. It's nice using a new packet, and these fit just nicely on here. Like so. So those corners, and one here. I'll grab those off. So we've got that element of, you know, dimension is almost like a free element of just luxury, really. So anything that pops up just makes it seem. Now I think these H's aren't symmetrical, doesn't go across the middle, and I think it's designed to go this way, but I think I'm going to put it this way. Just because I can. Okay, and here's our B, just getting it centre-ish on there. And again, we'll just use some dimensionals on here because we can. Because we can. Okay, so all nice and straightforward now, isn't it? Bright and bold. So this wasn't an easy thing for me to come up with. I've gone through all sorts of debates in my own head about what to do for this particular theme. There we go, done. Okie dokie. So it's sentiment then. So as per the original, I'm using the matching colour of the base to put our sentiment banner across. Okay, and we're going to do that with that stamp from A Family Celebration, and this is what the stamp actually looks like. So it's actually joined together like that. So we're going to ink it up so that we can get that running across the middle. I need a piece of scrap paper. Oh no, scrap paper. This will do. Some old pattern paper. This will do the job. And we will need our embossing stuff. So we need Versamark ink. I think my dragonflies should be set by now, so we'll just move those out of the way now. Just leave those at the back. Oops. And we'll bring in the tray and stuff. So we've got some white Wow embossing powder there and our Versamark. So we will ink up our Happy. Now what I did find with this on the first time was don't press too hard into your Versamark. There's ways around it, but you don't want to have you know, ink transferring. I didn't use my anti-static either, which was silly of me. And then we'll ink up that birthday bit. The Happy will get inked, but obviously don't press it onto the cardstock, because we're going to shuffle that around and put it about there and hope that it's straight. It's a bit difficult to get things straight because you're right where I need to be, but I think, yeah, could be better, but we'll go with it. So it's just difficult to see while filming. You will of course have the time to make sure you've lined yours up properly. Or you could have just not used a this is where I regret not having the anti-static on. Use your Stampin' Positioner once you can get it. So that will be going live soon. So it's new catalogue day next week. So from Tuesday you'll be able to start purchasing some of the new stuff, including the Stampin' Positioner. That's right. So that's not too bad. It could be better, but like I say, working in suboptimal conditions. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So there we go. Let's just pop this away, otherwise it'll end up everywhere. And of course I will need to pop the heat tool on now, which is quite loud. So if the noise bothers you, you might want to mute your device. If not, enjoy. Okay, I'll just warm that up and get it done. It shouldn't take long. So it's only a little thin thing, and it's on paper. It should heat up quite quickly. Nice and quick. Okay, so obviously that's quite warm. You just want to let that cool down a little bit before you manipulate it too much, but it doesn't take long, only a minute or two. And we're just going to cut that down a little bit, and if you want the angle to be the same, just shuffle that along and use that as your template, and you'll get the same angle right there. Okay, let's start popping things together then. So sentiment, then we're going to use a seal across here. So not all of this is going to make contact with the card. but enough of it will. So, and again, probably doesn't matter that much if it's a bit wonky, because everything else is a bit wonky. That looks about right. So that's making contact with the B and the H there, and there's room underneath to tuck stuff inside and out. So let's do our little leaves. Might need the silicone sheet actually. So let's just turn everything over. And some wet glue. So you only need dabs of this on these little delicate doohickeys, just so long as there's enough for it to grab somewhere, it'll just be fine. And it dries clear. So we'll just make this nice and pretty, basically. Mixing it up a little bit, putting things in different places. You know, you do you. I did consider using Cutest Crew and having some little animals and birds and things around to decorate, but it was the colours that were kind of flummoxing me on that one. So again, not all the bits are going to make contact with something, but it'll be enough to keep things secure. Okay, this bit tucked in here. Okay, and then we'll use some of these flowers. I might use 2 big ones and a little one. So again, sort of looking at the rule of 3s. So I'm just giving them a bit of shape in my hand. Sort of odd numbers, okay. And we'll pop one of those here. Here. Oh, that's a bit much. Sort of here. So, you know, you do what you feel is right in terms of the decor. And then we've got our little dragonflies to pop in as well. So let's just pop that there. So you can still tell it's an H. Oh, this one's got wonky wings. Oh well. Must have moved it a little bit on the just popping it in place. So again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make contact all over the place. Cool. This is definitely something that is not my usual my usual style. Gosh. And then we're just going to finish off the centres of those with just some of these iridescent pearls, and these little ones fit quite nicely in that little hole that's made by the die cut. So just using that. Oh, that one wants to sit the other way. Use your tools to help you manipulate some of these smaller items. And that's just wanting to stick to my finger, so let's turn that over. There we go. And anything like this, even though we've done a bit of shaping to things, Once I've finished, I'm going to pop one of my blocks on top. So the really big F block or an E block is quite good just to rest on there just for a few moments. It just lets everything that's got contact with the card just sort of sit and firm up enough so that you can then move it around. Okay, so but you still got some of that shape there. So I think that qualifies for bright and bold. What do you reckon? I like this colourway better than that colourway. Oh, you know, it just wasn't you know, something completely different for me, but I think that looks really, really cool. Let's put them that way. They'll probably fit better in the frame like that. Okay, that's it from me. So please do check out the description. All the products I've used, if they're available and live in the store, will be linked, because some of them are not going to be released till next week. So they'll be linked, and also there'll be a link to my blog post. If you go to that blog post, you'll also see links there to hop through and see what Heather and Vicky have made for this theme. So there we go, that's me doing bright and bold, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.